This is Monica, and this is the Self Magic Show. And today, this is episode 2, and it's a very special episode because I'm going to tell you all about how to create a magical world for your personal brand. Okay? So yeah, let's dive right in. So before we do that, of course, let me introduce myself. Monica, and I'm the Self Magic Mentor. I help business owners burst out of their shell and become their fully expressed self and brand. And this is really based on quite a unique approach of branding, where you don't start by asking, who's your ideal client? What is your this? What do you stand for? What is your mission? What is your vision? No. Of course, these are all very important and valid things. We're not dismissing them, but we start from a different place. We start through an exploration that is initially a visual exploration. And it's inside this exploration, we have a radical reflection. And when we start to see ourselves and we take our own, self-portraits and our own brand photos. So when we really start to see ourselves that way, a lot of insights and ideas and ahas and surprises are coming out, and they are informing us and guiding us for our next thing in a very unique fashion and an accurate fashion. Okay, so today, what we're doing today is very much related to that, and I'm gonna tell you exactly, how this is gonna go. So really, I'm just diving straight in the thing. So I don't know if you already, I made a little trailer for this show, and it was made out of, little pieces. And these are little pieces of my own magical world. So first of all, let's start with this. Why create a magical world for your brand, right? And can you? So first of all, the answer is yes and yes. Of course you can, and you definitely should, even if your brand is not about magic, and it's not called self magic, like mine is. So let's start there. Okay, so what is magic, right? What is magic? Okay, let's start from another place actually. What is not magic, okay? What magical is not? So I'm telling you, magical is not about unicorns, it's not about sprinkled stars and fairy dust. It's not about, Harry Potter references and making tricks and having hats that you get, the band out of the hat. It's not about unbelievable creatures. And it's not about unbelievable things, okay? Of course, all these things are magical, but when we want to bring magic in a personal brand, it doesn't have to include any of these things. You can sell, life insurance and have a magical brand, believe me on that one. So now let's start talking about, what does magical feels like, okay? So when you create your brand and you have that magical allure, okay, this is actually what it is. It creates that insane allure, insane magnetism, okay, that really draws people in. They're really attracted, because this is what magic does. You bring your magic out and it's like straight, right? That's one thing. Then what else feels magic in a brand? It feels positive, it feels effortless, it feels very precise, it's very accurate. There is accuracy in magic, okay? You cannot do, 3/4 magic, Either the magic is happening or it's not. And when it's happening, it's exactly the way it is accurate. It's also very truth, right? And it's also very believable. When you have magic, it's believable. Although magic is about unbelievable stuff and things that are a little bit above the reality, right? When you bring magic in your personal brand, it's actually very believable, instantly believable. And the most important thing is that people want to believe in magic, okay? Like, everybody wants to believe in magic. You know, there is no other word for magic in thesaurus. There's no other way to say it. It's that thing. It's magic. In every language, you know, some sort of, you know, has to do with that word. And everybody wants to believe in it. So you just have to bring it to them, bring it to you also, because if you have magic in your brand, it feeds you back, okay? It's like this beautiful cycle of energy exchange. Now, why should you create, well, already said a few things, right? But why should you create a magical world for your brand, okay? This is actually, you know, the question here today. Why bother creating that world? And I'm going to show you soon, you know, quite a few things. So first of all, you know, you're going to stand out, okay? Then when you make a magical world, you're expanding the imagination and the vision both of your audience and, you know, what's possible for them. When you create a magical world in your brand, you get to more self-express, you get to play, right? And in general, you're like lifting the vibe. This is what I was talking about before, how attractive it becomes. You also get to live your fantasies. And, you know, if you get to live your fantasies, your audience also gets to live their fantasies through your brand, which makes your brand, you know, more stand out, more attractive, and you know, it fills more gaps besides the problem that you solve. You're taking more space because your message has multiple, you know, levels and all that. And and also when you're bringing a magical world in your brand, you're actually finding ways to make something that doesn't exist, to make it visible. So you can use this magical type of communication to really communicate things that are usually kind of hard to communicate, but now you're communicating that like from a completely different level. And that's also very magnetic, right? Alluring. So, you know, you can, and of course, you know what happens when you bring your self magic, right? That it's self-inspired and not just magic you saw somewhere and got inspired by it, self-inspired. Then you become uncopyable because your self magic, and that's not just because that's how I call my thing, self magic, but it's also of course related. But your self magic, if it's really yours, it's so self-inspired, it's impossible to copy it, okay? It comes from a place that is not affected by trends. It's just pure from your own soul, you know, it's coming out. So, you know, you may ask me, you know, but Monica, you know, how can I create magic, right? How can I create magic? So it's very simple. It's too simple. So you just have to open your eyes to create magic. Yeah, that's all. You have to look at your surroundings as if this is the first time you're doing this, okay? Because magic is a point of view. And if you are looking for magic, you will find magic, okay? And now we're gonna go more dive in. I said, you know, if you're gonna look for magic, you're gonna find magic, right? That's for sure. Now the thing is, where are you going to look for magic, right? So first of all, I want you to look for magic. Thank you for the hearts. So first of all, I want you to look for magic in your physical world. And let's get some help here. So I want you to look at your home, okay? Around your home, you know, you where you live, okay? Everything in your home. Then I want you to look at your studio, your workspace, your bench, whatever you call it, wherever you are actually, even your computer, like right here, wherever you're actually doing your work, even if you're just seeing clients, okay? So your chair, your desk, your window, just that thing that, you know, people that work with you, they see, okay? Then I want you to look at urban surroundings. This can be, you know, things like, you know, the market, a shop near you, your neighborhood, okay? You know, a park, everything that's like urban around you, even industrial things. Then, of course, I want you to look, whoops, it's hiding, at the nature are near you, okay? Nature is a big thing, so there may be pieces of nature around you that you have really taken for granted, or you have also saw them as a place for you to go enjoy and have fun, but you've not even seen how you can bring this in your world and how people will actually appreciate it, okay? And I'm going to show you some of mine in a second, and you'll see these are things that I never thought would be part of my brand, and now they really became that. So these are the places, right, to look for, to look physically for magic. Okay, and now I want you to look. Now I'm going to tell you where to look for self-inspiration, okay? So I want you to look at your hobbies. What are your hobbies, okay? Do you make art? Do you, all of these things? Well, actually, here is the second one, art. You can use some of your art as part of your brand, even though you have not considered it. You do lettering, you do doodling, you paint, okay? Even if you don't sell art, even if you're not an artist, if there is art, either art that exists in your home or art that you make, okay, you can bring it in your brand. If your hobbies are something else, right, you can also bring those. Then I want you to bring your collections. What do you collect? They can be also a place for magic. These are the things we take for granted, and other people are like, oh my God, tell me more, show me more, show me. You just opened this box? I want to see what's inside. Wow, what is, I see another box in there. Show me, what is that? Show me more, okay? You understand? It's people want to see these things. They want to see these things. Then we have, your habits. Woohoo! What do you do? What do you do? What are your habits? Like, are you taking baths in salt? I want to see that, right? Maybe you're sitting on the floor at your home to make sure you have better posture, right? Bring that on, okay? You're taking your dog to a specific kind of walk. These are like the habits and lifestyle kind of things. So I want you to show this, okay? Another thing is your dreams. That's a great place to find self-inspiration, your dreams. And also, last but not least, okay, ta-da, your colors. There's something about the colors you like. And if you are following the color path, for example, and I'll show you in a second, for example, when I'm going, for my walk, like, I have my eye open for colors. It's like a filter. It's like a selective vision, okay? And I'm just gravitated, but I'm following a color, all colors, but some colors more than others. Like I'm never following brown, if you know what I mean. And that also is the things that I see are my point of view. And I said magic is a point of view, okay? So if there's one thing I want you to take from this, this live today is to really start being aware about, what is your point of view and what are you seeing, okay? What are you seeing? And how can you bring that and make that into a world, in your brand, okay? And now we're gonna get a little visual because although I thought to do this like a podcast, I decided, you know what? The Self Magic Show is a show and tell show. So I can't just tell. I have to show because that's the idea of this show. So I'm going to show you now some things that I picked from my world. And at the beginning, I really didn't think they were magical. And little by little, I managed to craft this like world. Okay, so let's dive in the thing. Let's put some white space first. You know what? Yeah, let's put some white space so it's going to be easier to see for you. Okay, so these are sketchbooks. Okay, I'm gonna do this really fast. These are sketchbooks, one on top of the other, like nothing special, but you see how immediately it's creating something, like a look, something, okay? This is a dollhouse that actually I spent 3 months building for my kids. So I could do a lot of things here I could do a whole theater thing here in this dollhouse. Nobody else has this kind of a dollhouse. That can be a great piece of my brand, and it can turn my brand into magical, okay? Now, this is just something that I saw walking at the street. I said, you know, my eyes were peeled to really spy interesting things and colorful things, so I was able to take it in. Okay, one other one is this one. This is industrial debris. Okay, this is like dirt. This is like garbage. But look at it. Look how insanely interesting it is. Okay, you can, the minute you start to spot details and you bring them and make them part of your business, you're opening the eyes of everyone, really. And it just, you're really communicating your mind without any word when you're choosing things that are not the standard, okay? This is, I talk about habits, right? I used to make for my husband and my son at some point little notes with their breakfast. So, you know, you can create a whole thing out of it. And, you know, what I want to show you about this thing is, oops, you see, you don't need to, there can be simple things. This can be simple things, but it's really your point of view, and you put them together and you're creating a story. The story exists because these things are really your life, but I want you to think about going the creative route, right? You're fabricating now, you're amplifying something. Okay, so this could have been, you know, just breakfast. Okay, let's do a little bit different. So this could have been, you know, just breakfast, but now it's actually, you know, a story, right? Yeah, well, this is, you know, color tubes. This is like, I can look at this forever. This is incredibly fascinating. So many details. This is the cards I told you about, right? You can look. That's one of my little collections. There is many more. Collections are really a thing. Here we have some of my surroundings here at the back. You see here Wonder Woman. So it's really all about how you show them, you know, what angle and what focus you're putting on them, and this is how you create, you know, your magical world. It's not always about a castle. The same thing here, okay? This is not a picture you're gonna find in everybody's anything, actually. And the same with that. The same with this one. People want to see these things. People want to see, like, how these areas looks. This is, on one hand, is behind the scenes. On the other hand is like, you know, a craft table, your craft, you know, headquarters, and that's always, you know, fascinating. Look at that. This is like, here, let's move back here again. So this is like just me looking at colors, but again, it made me stop and take a picture, and it's gonna make you stop, okay? And it's gonna make you look. The same here. I found this on the floor. It's a piece of trash, but against that, you know, gray background, it popped, and that's why I looked at it on the floor, and I created like a whole thing around it now. Okay, this thing is also magical. This is a card with some pens. Okay, the artist card. So as you can see, you know, I've used this image many times, but the idea is that there is something here that points. Okay. Okay, so this was another great example. I created, I was in Greece at a retreat, and I colored these on the beach, and then I washed them at the beach, and then I started transforming them. Okay, so I turned these into a flag, and I would take pictures with that flag with the wind wherever I went. I made this into a scarf, and I dance with it. This, you see, I have so many like so many photos of close-ups, okay, of this fabric that I can use for backgrounds, for all sorts of things. I'm actually using this for one of my guides. Then I turned these fabrics into a crown, and I've been using it for the last couple of birthdays. Then I made this, you see, this is my crown on a sand castle by the beach. So the narrative continues, right? It's a journey. And here it's me at my desk wearing this this thing. And what I want to tell you about this is that it's like I want you to create like a creative thread, okay? And take people through the journey of the things that you're doing. This is also what I love about, the self-magic process so much, because it's about really following a creative thread and an evolution. We're not creating a fixed brand. We're creating an evolving brand. So you can take something that is out of your curiosity and you can keep nurturing it, working on it, showing it, evolving it, getting more insights of it, getting more involved with it, more engaged with it, getting other people engaged with it. And it may be something that when you started your journey, you have no idea what that became. But because of the way you're doing this, in this, the evolving way, then there is no reason why it shouldn't work. And actually, next week, I'm going to show you exactly a very good example about that. So we have just a few left. So this one is a self-portrait, but what I am showing you here is that thing on my shoulder, which is actually a wig that I created after the Queen of Rods from the Sake Sake Tarot. I wanted to embody it. I wanted to bring it to life. So this is also, you see, suddenly this portrait is not just me, looking very serious. I have this thing. It becomes like a fashion item, right? So that you can create magic that way. Very, very simple, without leaving your home, by the way. And this one is a tree house I've been talking about. So, the tree house really is a bunch of colorful pieces of junk, okay? But it can be like nothing, right? We can look at it as trash, or we can look at it as magic, right? So this is me here. So, and here, again, you see the narrative. So you see the tree house in the background. Then you see me wearing that crown that I showed you before, right? And then you see also that pink and red tulle that also I've been using for something. So the things are, the conversation is really continuing. And then talking about the treehouse, so I took a picture of this mask here. And this is already, you can tell a story about it, right? What is this mask? Of course, look at the color of this mask. Why is it here? What is this place? Like that thing can open up a whole storytelling vault, right? Then you see again that the mask alone wrapped, in all this fabric. This is also a completely different image with a completely different story. Like you totally have the magical effect here. And here you see again that fabric. I'm holding it with another fabric, with that crazy shirt against the blue sky. Like a completely different, right? Completely different feeling about it. And the last picture I'm going to show you is this one. Like if you have a kid or, a cousin or a kid, whatever, that's a kid with markers on the fingers, right? Like so easy to find that picture. So easy. And isn't that magical, right? Isn't that magical? It's, again, as I said, it's magic. Magic is a point of view. This is how you bring magic. You just have to really hone in, your point of view. So what I invite you to do today is I want you to take an inventory of all these things that they could turn magical for your brand. Okay, so as I said, look in your home, look in your surroundings, look in nature. Okay, and then get inspired. Look in your dreams, look in your drawers, look in other stories, in your habits, in your collectibles. Look at these all places. Make really a nice list, a healthy list of that, and then start choosing what are the things you can start weaving into your personal brand. This is not the usual find the buckets to post on Monday, Sunday, and Tuesday, and you have like categories. This is not that. We're talking start creating here the magic through visual, and I promise you that all the messaging and all that will follow after that. So I would like to invite you now to go to my website. I'm going to put the thing below, monicaklisaki.com/play, and this is where you can find all the free resources that are available right now. You can even join a challenge. That was it for today. You're watching the Self Magic Show. It's the show that helps you become your fully expressed self and personal brand. And I want to bring you fresh perspectives about doing branding in a way that is not just there to make you look pretty, but also to really give you that expression in your business, so you can feel alive and really in tune what's happening with you, and also allowing yourself to embrace all of your colors and all of yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and just to really create a brand that is relatable, evolving, and sustainable. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you also so much for watching the replay, and if you have any questions, add them below. I can't wait to connect with you. Bye bye.